Welcome, Sojourners. You have found yourself a cozy place here at Sojourners Awake. I'm Jonathan, and this is our production of The Bookish and the Brave. Like you, the Sojourners are on a mission, and in this most recent episode, we encounter a heartwarming episode in which Vaughn and Sterling explore the dungeons of Baldtop Library. As with any adventure, everything is connected, and you will soon be able to explore the dungeons of Baldtop Library along with them. And so for now, our story continues. A few days have drifted by in Baldtop Library. The warmer winds increase and melt the snow and ice. The sun now shines brightly in the blue sky and reflects a shimmering shine upon the translucent dome around the library. Earlier that day, Vaughn had been informed that Chothy would meet him upon the highest point of the library. An arduous ladder climb of 120 feet lay between the door and the peak. With Hawkins busy in the Helping Hands workshop and Asyndeton accompanying him, Sterling decided to attend Vaughn upon this private meeting with his mentor. At the base of the ladder, Vaughn, your hand is placed on the first rung. Sterling, you are nearby. How do you engage?
Vaughn is going to start climbing up the ladder, just nice and relaxed. And does Vaughn know that Sterling is with him?
Sterling is right behind you.
All right.
So Sterling's at the base of the ladder, and he's doing some stretches. He knows what's going on, and he knows that they probably need a minute before he's supposed to be there too. So he is doing some stretches, like delaying, but not trying to show Vaughn that he's delaying. He's just kind of, being his usual goofy self.
Vaughn's going to look down and say, "You're going to miss the meeting if you don't hurry." And then Vaughn's going to start climbing quickly.
How do you respond, Sterling?
I'll be up, right up.
Vaughn, you progress. Sterling, you delay. Vaughn, you've made this climb many times in the expectation that Chothy would one day arrive. Hand over hand, you move 20, 40, 80 feet. The wind starts to pick up, yet you are still within the dome of this library. But now you can see Baldtop in all its glory before you. As you climb up this ladder, it looks as if you are climbing along an enormous termite mound of natural rock and dirt that have stayed here throughout the centuries. You can now see the base of the first, second, and third level of the Great Library. As the wind picks up, you notice the absence of birds, as always. You can see the orange blossom gymnasium and the grunts and the groans and the shouts. And of course, you can smell the smoke burping deep from underground, where the dwarves continue the forge that keeps the fires of Baldtop alive. Sterling, you are still stretching.
So as soon as Vaughn's kind of out of sight, Sterling's been working on something, and so he didn't want really Vaughn to witness it. For already Vaughn makes fun of his athletic ability. So what he's doing is he's picked up Thorn Whip as a spell mechanically, and he is whipping up and then using that 10 feet to pull him up. And he's just waiting, can't see anything. Okay, and he's using that to pull him up.
No, I was going to make you do some athletics checks, but let's see how well you're doing it, roping the Thorn Whip across the ladder rung. That will be a spell attack.
Spell attack. Okay, beautiful. Yeah. That is a 22.
Oh, it's graceful and beautiful and definitely out of Vaughn's sight. Vaughn, Sterling is gaining on you a little too quickly.
Does Vaughn notice how he's gaining on me?
Make a perception check, 20 or higher.
Ooh. I'm being sneaky.
13.
It is bewildering.
As soon as Sterling gets a little close, he just starts huffing. Oh, this is so hard, Vaughn.
Vaughn's gonna take off. He's gonna turn around and say, "You're moving pretty quick," and then he's gonna take off.
Okay. Within your ability?
Yeah, at
Okay.
the top of my ability.
Okay. You do not press. You continue to move on at a rate. So what you will do is go ahead and make an acrobatics or athletics checks to demonstrate your prowess. You do have a +5 to that check. Sterling, you will make a perception check to demonstrate how quickly you are gaining on Vaughn. Vaughn, what is your score?
23.
That is the number to beat.
Nice. And my perception's a 9.
Okay, so Vaughn, you are easily out maneuvering Sterling. Sterling, you're still progressing unusually quickly, but you do not catch up to Vaughn. Vaughn, that leaves you at the top of this 10 by 10 peak with only a thin railing providing a border on this enormous peak. You see at the top that there is set before you a rug and 2 cups of tea, the warm kettle. The wind is very high up here. What do you pay attention to?
Vaughn's gonna hop over the railing and look behind him to see how Sterling's progressing. Make sure that he's all right, and then he's going to look for Chathy. It's a very small place. Does he see Chathy? Okay, so he sees the tea. He's going to look down and say, "Sterling, you're moving fast. Come on, keep going."
That was almost encouraging. Yeah, I'll be right up.
Yeah, he's gonna stay close to the ladder.
Yeah, you stay close to the ladder, and Vaughn, a normal person would have a hard time peering over the edge, staring straight down to Bald Top Library, but you are able to maintain your composure and your balance. But Sterling, you're only halfway up, and you have yet to progress, and you see that pair of eyes staring back at you 60 feet away.
Sterling would freeze on the ladder. He would stop all activity. And so he's like looking, sees the eyes. He would yell to Vaughn, but I don't know what. He would just kind of, it followed us.
What are you saying, Sterling? Are you okay? Do you need help?
And he'd be pointing, one hand on the rail, pointing towards the bird. Do you think he can see it?
No, there are no birds.
Oh.
There are no birds allowed in Bald Top Library.
Oh.
Is Sterling pulling Vaughn's leg?
Vaughn's going to look wherever Sterling was pointing, but he's not going to see anything. And he can't really understand because the wind's blowing through his ears, so...
Okay. Sterling, you may have attempted to pull the wool over Vaughn's eyes, pointing towards a bird. And then you see it. On the 3rd level of the main library, there is a vulture staring at you.
He doesn't really know what to do. He's kind of stuck in place. He's in a very big predicament right now. He's like, does it go down? Does it go up?
Wisdom saving throw then. Okay. Wisdom saving throw to maintain your grip.
18.
18. Your palms are beginning to sweat. The beads of salt water are beginning to rush through your body. You can hear the current of the Mojave Ocean. The wind begins to whip up, but that bird doesn't manage to get into your mind. You are frozen in place.
As Sterling is hanging there from the ladder, Vaughn's starting to get nervous because he's not moving anymore, and he did notice that he was moving very quickly previously. So Vaughn is going to climb over the edge and start crawling back down the ladder.
Within moments, you see Vaughn's body pressing in towards yours, Sterling. 60 feet up in the air, he meets you.
Sterling, what's wrong?
I thought I saw something, but we gotta make a decision. Are we going up or are we going down? We gotta go up, right? You said go up, right? Okay, let's go up. Can you help?
Okay, you go ahead of me.
Okay.
And Vaughn's going to put his arms on either side of Sterling's feet so that his head is kind of like at the back of his knees, just kind of so that if Sterling loses his grip or something, he can try to catch him. And then just encourage him to go up. He's not going to get too close because one extra step and he's going to have his face where he doesn't want it. So he's going to be aware of that, but he's going to still be there to try to keep Sterling safe.
This is just like when we were on the boat, right? This is just like when we were on the boat. Just like it. I pushed the boat. That's just like it. Okay, let's go.
Vaughn, you're going to need to make a persuasion check to break his fright. 13 or higher, please.
That's a 6.
Sterling, you're still frightened, unable to move either up or down. Vaughn, you notice this.
Okay, Sterling.
Yeah.
Do you need to go back down?
I can't move up or down. I'm kind of here. I gotta. I don't know. What do you think?
I think I need to go up, but I will help you get back down if that's what you need to do.
No, we shouldn't separate. We need to go up. Let's go up.
Okay, and then Vaughn's going to crawl up. How wide is the rope ladder? Can I? Not enough room for me to get my foot like next to him.
It was easy to move past Sterling. Your body is a little more lithe, and for a second you were able to plank on the side of the ladder railing. But as you're below him now, you'll have to climb up around him to get on top of the ladder.
Okay, Sterling. What will be helpful? Do you need me to push? Do you need me to lead? Do you want to tie a rope around my waist and have me drag you up? What's best for you? We need to get up there.
I think I need a slap.
I can do that. And he's gonna get a smirk on his face. He's gonna slap him nice and hard across the tush.
Sterling, that's enough. Vaughn, at this point though, your muscles are starting to tremble. This is getting pretty tough out here, so I need you to make a strength saving throw. It's relatively easy, just 5 or higher.
That's a 20.
You're doing just fine. You're doing actually a lot better than you usually would. The adrenaline pumping through your body and the pleasure of smacking Sterling on the backside. Sterling, it's enough to get you going, but you're going to have to make an athletics check to progress forward unless you progress forward some other way.
I don't think he's in the right mind to... no, he's got an 12 acrobatics check.
I'll need an athletics check.
Yeah, 12 athletics, sorry.
Athletics.
Oh no, sorry, 11. Yeah, 11 athletics. My bad.
Okay, that's just enough. Vaughn, right. He should be making you nervous. His legs are just shaking and you can tell the strength is leaking from his body, but he is progressing forward ever so slowly.
I think Vaughn is going to risk the head in the derriere and put his shoulder up against one cheek and kind of drive him up that way. So he's got his hands on either side of his hips, basically. Not on his hips, but on the ladder around his hips, and then a shoulder driving into his backside to try to help him up.
This ladder climb has taken entirely too long. At the base, Chathi begins to climb. You feel the tension on the ladder change and then stop, and he looks up and notices both of you towards the top. Sterling, this has been arduous, so please make a Constitution saving throw, 16 or higher.
I got a 10.
You are exhausted. You're plumb tuckered out. But you are alive. Vaughn, you have a minute with Sterling before you notice Chathi taking the wheel on the ladder and he's starting to pull himself up.
We're getting closer, Sterling. Keep pulling. I know you're tired. Let's finish this. We're almost there.
Okay. Yes, Vaughn. Yeah. This is what I get for showing off.
Vaughn's going to ignore the comment and just keep pushing.
You push Sterling up. He goes over the railing. Sterling, your face flattens upon the carpet, nearly knocking over the tea in its kettle.
He's just kind of kissing the ground. His knees are still shaking together and making a knocking noise. Exhausted.
Vaughn's gonna pat him on the shoulder a couple times. You made it, Sterling. Let's not think about having to go back down yet. And then he's gonna go back over towards the ladder and just take a glance over at Chathi and make sure that Chathi's doing all right.
He's making great time.
All right.
Pretty soon he arrives up by the climbing this rock wall, this ladder. He then sits down and greets you. He crosses his legs together, pushes his hands, and says, "Today is a good day. Vaughn of the Cloverblade. It is good to see you again."
Chathi, and he's going to bow in deference to him and say, "It is so good to see you. Thank you for being here and seeing me. It is so good to see you."
He looks over at Sterling and says, "I have but to thank him. If it wasn't for his bravery in rescuing me along with the Chinastans, I would not be here today."
Still on his knees and looking up with one eye. Oh, I gave him the ring. I'll be with you in a minute.
You got your mother's ring.
I do. Vaughn will pull it out of his pocket, show it to him.
He takes in a deep breath and says, "What beautiful thing do you see now, Vaughn? Tell me, where do you see the beauty today?"
Vaughn takes a deep breath as well and glances around a little bit, smiles at Chathi, insinuating that he is the beauty, and then surprisingly smiles at Sterling and insinuates that he is the beauty. And then he remembers and he opens up his cloak, and Aramonte comes out and sits on his lap. And he says, "Master Chathi, this is the beauty of today."
And who is this? Hello.
Hello.
The wind is blowing in her hair and releasing a couple of the flower petals off into the wind. Chathi catches one very quickly and then presents it to her like a flower. "What is your name?"
I am Aramonte, and I am very high up.
You see there's a couple of little like red marks on your thigh where she was just squeezing the life out of you. Looks like you carried two people up here, Vaughn. You're becoming quite the benefactor.
Yes, through strange circumstances, story too long to tell at this moment. Please meet my daughter.
At that, his mouth drops open. His hands go up and says, "I don't even know if I want to know, but she is absolutely beautiful. She must take after her mother."
In many ways, yes. But
Well, we'll have plenty of time to talk about that. But I would like to direct the attention back to you. I'm sure you're not accustomed to that. Please sit. Sterling, would you care to join us for tea?
No, my stomach's a little uneasy. I think I'll just kneel here. Thank you, though.
Fair enough. The silence comes between you both, resting in the presence of each simply who you are, to each other, to Sterling, to Aramonte. In fashion of the Cloverblade, you and Chathi recognize and acknowledge each of the presences here. And since you are so high up, you have the luxury of divorcing yourself from all other influences save the ones you are now with.
Vaughn takes another deep breath and says, "Chathi, it's been a while since I've been able to quiet myself like this. I'm grateful for your presence here and the reminder of who I am and who you've trained me to be. This is a wonderful moment."
I didn't train you any more than the farmer trains the grass to grow.
Your example and mentorship is much appreciated, and I'm grateful. I'm grateful.
You know it was Basile that took advantage of the party. He's out for blood of all the noble houses. Have you ever thought to ask yourself why he's so insistent on killing every member of the noble houses of Bochen?
Well, I would assume it's simply so that there's no one that can challenge him to any sort of authority or leadership, but maybe there is a deeper purpose.
There always is. What do you know about the gods, Vaughn?
Very little. I ran across them from time to time, out at the monastery, working with the people in Bochen and in the outlying cities, but I mostly just embraced the followers and worshippers, not much concerned about the gods.
You know, a time it was in the past where we didn't have to consider what the gods thought. Something is happening, though. The distance between us and them is closing in. In truth, now and in the future, we can no longer afford to ignore them. We must consider them. Many believe this is because their power is waning. Possibly because no one is giving attention to them. There is within everyone. You do not know the word, but you know of its power. Bonsar. It is the life force that fuels our very existence and connects us to each other and every living thing. It is what separates us from that which is not. It is with the Bonsar that we pay to the gods. Some may call it attention, some may call it worship, but in truth it is an expendable and limited resource that each mortal has. Bonsar is what separates us from them, for it governs our mortality. Some believe the gods are lacking that Bonsar, and the unfortunate side effect of this is that other beings in the world are now rising into power. You may have heard of the word Bane. Did you experience them in Bochen?
We did. We encountered many Banites, and they tried on multiple occasions to capture us, myself. They, through some poor choices on my part, were able to identify me, and they were not slow in pursuing me and trying to capture me, presumably to take me back to Lord Basile, but maybe not.
Well, if they know you're alive, then Lord Basile will have a hunt out for you, Vaughn. I fear you might have
that a lot.
I fear you might have to change your name again. Change your face.
At this point, Sterling would have sidled up to the tea a little bit. Chathy, you've been around. How does he keep watch on people?
Lord Basile?
Yeah. Do you know anything about that? Like how it works? Because we're at Boltop, so there's definitely some securities in place, but he wouldn't be able to get in here, would he?
He may already be.
Oh.
There is a price of admittance here in Vaultop. Books, learning, knowledge. And that price is oftentimes neutral. I think anyone, including Skoda, will tell you not everyone here is of good purpose. There is evil in Vaultop. He dismisses your worry and goes right back to talking to Vaughn. I don't think you'll have a problem taking care of yourself. But Lord Basile knows how to leverage relationships to get what he wants.
Vaughn looks at Sterling and Aramonte, and then back to Chathi, and says, "It seems to me that he already took his turn after you, and that would bother me tremendously to see that happen to you or to any of these again."
There I was thinking I was captive for my own sake, but it was all after to get to you, of course. You know, the moment I consider myself, there are 10 other considerations that take my place. Let that be a lesson from an old man to a young man. We are never as important as we think we are.
Well, I certainly don't presume that you were captured for my sake. You are so much.
Save yourself. It's clear now what Basile wants. At the time, I thought I was captured just for doing a good deed and protecting the Chinastans. But the last remaining heir of the Steeplebottoms is quite a rare prize to be won.
Have all the other noble houses fallen? Has he destroyed all of those families? I mean, the Chinastans are still around, correct?
Yes, some of them have made it and disappeared into the wilds. Basile will most likely pursue them as long as he can, but it is not his only goal, which is why I'm here today. He looks at you, Sterling. Like I said, there is evil in Boltup. That is why you're here. There is a woman in the House of Healing. She is of the Chinastan house. Yes, there are some that are still alive. There are more that are still alive than I can say for the Steeplebottoms. For some reason, the Chinastans, given their smuggling ways, they have a little bit of an advantage on escaping. But all of the other houses, yes, are indeed dead. But this woman in the House of Healing, she is chanting on something about the end of the road. The end of the road. We think it's some kind of... It's like a splinter in your body. It takes up resources. It causes inflammation. It drains your body of nourishment until it is expelled. It has completely taken over her mind, at least blocked everything. We think we can heal her, but there is only one in Baldtop that could truly tell us the answer. And that is the Keeper. Highest-ranking official of Baldtop Library, in whom only Skoda reports to. Miriam. She dwells below the dungeons of Baldtop. Has been there as long as anyone can remember, until someone takes her place. I know I brought you here very high up, but now I need you to go deep and below. I don't expect anyone else to accompany you, Vaughn. This is not a bookend mission. This is a Cloverblade mission. If you are successful, we will send to the rank of Friar, with a hermit who will attend to your needs. And as luck would have it, he is actually still here. His name is Brother Dogoth, kind and gentle man from an orphanage in Greenfield. He will be your hermit if you are successful. There is no shame in failing, for Miriam is a vault of information. She is not who she is or how old she is for any simple reason. But if you can do this impossible task, the position is yours. And we will have one more key to solving Basile's mystery.
So I am to go see Miriam in the lower areas, but what am I... She is going to tell me how to heal this healer?
That is correct.
And I'm going to be the one that delivers this healing?
You'll be the one who delivers the information. But we don't know exactly how or what she will say. But not anyone can just go see her. Like I said, only Skoda reports to her. What you are doing is not entirely something that is allowed.
Yeah, Vaughn. I know this isn't allowed, but I kind of really want that information. But at the end of the day, we'll do what's best for the group. But that's just my 2 cents anyway.
I would advise in as much secrecy as possible.
Does that mean all sneaky and everything? Because I'm not very good at that.
Well, I'm not directly talking to you, Sterling.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Yeah, you're right.
He hands you a cup of tea.
I understand, Chathi. So Skota is the one that knows how to get down there, or I need to figure this out without Skota knowing?
Skota knows, but Skota will say he doesn't know. Go down to the dungeons. Call for Miriam. She will find you.
I will do this, and Sterling should not join me. Or
I will leave it up to your discretion.
Okay.
I assume there's a reason he's here.
I assume too.
Well, yeah, I was the one that knew. I told him that you saved them. Okay, yeah, you're right. I shouldn't be here.
Oh no, I'm glad you're here, Sterling. But we'll decide. You'll decide. I will leave this. I will leave this to you. I would feel more confident with some support.
Well, let's put it this way. When traveling by river, of course it is the paddles, the oars, the strength of your arms that propels you forward. That is you, Vaughn. But we must not ignore the indirect effect of the river carrying you downriver. That also is a way of propulsion. Perhaps that's where he comes in. In that case, it doesn't make a difference if you're stealthy or not. Everyone knows the river is there.
I do like water.
You are wise, my friend. We will go. This is an urgent matter, I assume.
It is. It seems Basile is amping up. He's made an alliance with the Blue Dragon. We fear war, and we need to stay one step ahead of this.
Well, if it's Basile, I would assume that he intends war. So we should move. Sterling, are you ready and able to head back down?
I know there's a really easy way down. That would be to fall. I don't want to use that one. But is there an easier way down?
Vaughn looks at Chathi.
Is there an easy way to take a test? Study for it.
Yeah, but if I'm at the test and I haven't even known the material, mate. Oh, I guess. Yeah, anyway, you're right. No, you're right.
He quietly crosses his legs, places his hands on his knees, closes his eyes, and begins humming softly to himself. It'll be about a good 2 hours before he comes to.
Vaughn, knowing that, will look at Sterling and give him a nod, and then look at Aramonte and open up his cloak for her to climb back in. And Vaughn's going to kind of nod at Sterling to follow him, but Vaughn's going to go down first, so they're kind of in the same position they were going up. So Vaughn's below Sterling. That way, if he slips or gets tired, Vaughn can try to catch him or break his fall on the ground when he lands on him.
Sterling, go ahead and make a Constitution saving throw. 10 or higher, please.
Okay. So you see that he's visibly shaken, but something kind of overtakes him and kind of starts moving of not of his own volition. And his portent kicks in. And so his body just starts moving without him thinking what it's doing. And that is an automatic 15.
15. Still at disadvantage. You're able to move down, guided by the starlight. The stars twinkle in your eyes. You take a look over back at the main library, and that vulture is no longer there watching you. You quickly make it to the ground, and you know exactly where to go. To the entrance of the dungeon.
Here we are, Sterling. Are you planning to join me?
Yeah, I figure it gives us a bit more authority if there's two bookends, not just one, And I'm pretty good at blagging my way through things, and I know you've got a silver tongue there, Mr. X Steeplebottom. I thought we weren't supposed to say that, or is it just situational? Okay, but yeah, I'm ready.
Okay, let's go. And I think Sterling, for the first time, would notice that Vaughn didn't get agitated by his stammering.
Sterling would stand back a little bit and go, "Man, this is a wild. So I've got someone that I boss around, and now Vaughn's being nice to me. Things are really looking up."
Vaughn's gonna lead the way.
Vaughn, as you walk down the stairs of this stone cold dungeon, you descend deep into the depths of the earth. Before you get to the bottom, you see that there's a sign that says, "Be ye warned. The spirits that guard this hallowed ground take no prisoners."
Vaughn will stop at the sign, thinking that this is probably a pretty good place to make his first call out to Miriam. And he will, in a strong but not overly loud voice, call out, "Miriam, my name is Vaughn. I am a bookend, and I am here to make a request of you."
The entryway to the door howls, and you hear an exhale of a voice. You are attempting to call her before going into the dungeon, so you can make a persuasion check or an intimidation check. It is a 20 or higher, though.
How's a 7 work?
The exhale nearly drags you towards the center. You feel a vacuum deep under the earth.
Well, that didn't work, Sterling. I think we have to go in.
Yeah, Sterling, you also see the sign, "Be ye warned, the spirits that guard this holy place take no prisoners."
Wait, I thought this was a dungeon, though. Isn't this where the prisoners go? Oh, wait. Oh.
You also notice there are no colors associated with this doorway. Your indigo robes fade to black in the darkness. Traditionally, there are torches and sconces nearby, but you would have to find them. Otherwise, how do you produce light?
Vaughn does not. So if it's getting darker, he is going to be looking for a torch or lantern or something that he can carry.
Make an investigation check then.
4.
Vaughn's struggling in the dark. You feel your feet slip on a couple of the stairs going down. Make a dexterity saving throw to avoid falling and injuring yourself.
17.
17 is a success. Please roll 1d6 damage and take half.
All right, that'll be a 2.
You fall to the ground instinctively and hit your arm against the side, bracing yourself.
Whoa! Watch out for that step right there, Sterling. Let's see if we can find some light.
Yeah, I can't see a thing. I used to be in the dark, but we're underground now.
Sterling, you were able to avoid that step thanks to Vaughn's warning.
Nice.
Can you make any light?
I don't know if you noticed me, but I kind of like the water. It's kind of the opposite of fire. I don't really do that whole shenanigans, but not really. I mean, if you find a light source, I can shine it off my head. It might make it in a different direction, but other than that, it's
Okay, well, let's look for a torch. Very quietly, very carefully. Make sure that you stay in earshot of each other. Let's not part too far.
Sounds good.
You're going to progress on.
Yeah.
Make an investigation check with disadvantage this time as you progress deeper into the dungeon.
How about a natural 1?
Vaughn, you suddenly feel the ground below you disappear. You begin to fall, and you hear Aramonte cry out, gasp and suck in her breath. You fall to the ground. Ooh, this is not good.
It's got a slow fall.
Yeah,
You do?
of course.
Sorry, stole your thunder there.
No. I was ready for it.
Tuck and roll 4 points of damage only. You
Okay.
estimate you've fallen about 20 feet.
So I shouldn't take any damage then with slow fall, right?
Well, you took 8, so
Well, It reduces my damage by 25 points, 5 points per monk level.
There's the thunder.
Help!
We're okay, Aramonte. We're okay.
She's about 2 feet from you. Where are you?
Okay, stay there. Stay there. And Vaughn's going to gently reach around to try to find her.
You reach around, and when you feel in the wall next to you, there's a couple finger holes that are positioned strategically along the wall. And then you feel her soft, rooted feet.
Okay, stay there. I'm right here. Why don't you climb back on? This is my hand.
This time she rushes up to your neck and kind of like wraps around you like a shawl.
That's good. That's a good place to be. And then he's going to put his fingers back in those holes. But he's going to look back up and say, Sterling, I just fell 20 feet. Be careful.
Sterling, you can hear him.
Through the echoes, yeah, he would just stand still and be like, what do you want me to do?
Stay there for a minute. If there's another wall, you can search for light the other direction away from where we were heading. You can do that, but don't come any further this way.
Okay, he'll lower the thorn whip down as a rope and kind of tie it off at the top. It's 10 feet long, so you can jump to that and start heading, staying still actually.
All right, Vaughn's going to put his fingers in the interesting holes in the wall that you pointed out. Does he feel anything that would scare him, that he feels like he should pull his fingers back out, or?
Depends on if you paid attention in class. Please make a history check.
Oh my gosh. I'm using different dice each time I roll, by the way. This is a 6.
It's on the tip, it's right on your mind, but no, it's actually eluding Vaughn pretty well.
All right, Vaughn's going to say quietly to Aramonte, well, I was not a very good student. Let this be a lesson to you. You should pay attention in class when you get to do this, because I have no idea what we're going to do next, but...
Well, I did go to class, snuck in. I was hungry. I stole a protein bar.
Yes, well...
It was a good class.
That is a good class. I don't know that you learned anything about what we're doing now.
I did. I learned a little magic.
You did? Would you like to tell me what that is? Or show me?
She says a simple word, photo. And this flash of light just blinds in your eyes for a second, and her eyes light up like 2 little headlamps.
Wow, Aramonte, that's fantastic. You did learn some magic. Why don't you look over here real quick? And he points over to where the finger holes were.
Oh, yeah, okay. So, Sterling, you see a little bit of like light beams just shoot off down in the distance, and you see Aramonte and Vaughn's head, and then she's looking at these holes, these drain holes within a gutter. Sterling, you can now see that Vaughn is in the trash sewer that leads into the Mavi Ocean. You recognize these as the water slowly rushes through these holes and washes away all the sewage and the trash and the other unwantables.
Oh, Aramonte, I don't think we want to be down here. This is a very dirty place, and it might not be safe for us very long. And
There are two ladders on either side of this gutter.
Why don't you climb back up, and let's go back up that ladder right there.
Her eyes look over to the ladder and just shines the light.
So Vaughn's going to climb up the ladder and get back up to Sterling. Sterling, Aramonte can make light.
She looks back at you and blinds your eyes.
Oh, yeah, I wasn't ready for that.
Vaughn, you see that Sterling is casting 2 shadows. One is much thinner than his frame.
Sterling, look at that. Tell me what you see.
And as Sterling's spinning around trying to see his shadow, he's still slightly blinded.
Blinded, nice. So attack with advantage. 23 to hit you.
Oh yeah, that hits.
This vile shadow says, "Take no prisoners." And he places a hand at your throat and begins to grasp you with a spectral, smoky hand, choking out your voice and your breath. Make a Constitution saving throw.
So 16 is my Constitution.
16. So you take 6 points of damage and you are paralyzed. Every story comes to an ending, so for now, we must conclude. Thank you for listening, Sojourners. Your attention will not go unrewarded, and we look forward to continuing this adventure. If you enjoy this background music and ambiance, you should visit Tabletop Audio. You can find them for all your tabletop audio needs at www.tabletopaudio.com. And take the time to sojourn with us. Once again, Sterling is placed within death's reach. If you would like to see how this story concludes, go to your favorite podcasting platform and leave a rating and review. I'm sure somewhere out there, it'll give Sterling advantage on his death saving throws. You can also find Sojourner's Wake on Facebook, Instagram, and Substack. If you'd like to support the podcast, you can visit us on Patreon. And however you choose to sojourn with us, as always, may your story continue.